Hello, everyone. We are Andrew Hart, James Hart, Samuel Powell, and Connor Daly, and together we are Agora. Right now, it's difficult to get up-to-date and easy-to-digest information on new bills and laws that you care about. Government websites can be difficult to navigate, and more importantly, you have to already know what you're looking for. They oftentimes contain a lot of information that isn't important to your average voter, which can be a little overwhelming. There's no way to personalize what you see, and there's no way to be updated on new legislation. Agora is the solution to all of these problems. Agora is targeted towards voters and citizens who want to stay up to date and want all of this information in one easy-to-access place. The information is sourced from government APIs and websites, so while larger implications of new laws and political actions may be up for debate and subject to potential bias, the data available on Agora is about the literal letter of the law and the direct actions of representatives. We believe our application will make it easier for the average citizen to engage with politics. Users are able to create a profile, select their interests, their location, and receive a feed of legislation on issues that matter to them. Users can also track their representatives' actions and evaluate how well those actions align with their beliefs. Agora is available as a mobile app as well as a website on agoraforthepeople.net.
Hello, my name is James Hart, and I'm the lead web developer for Team Agora. I'll be walking you through our website, which can be found at agoraforthepeople.net. This is the home page, and I'm currently logged in. It displays a personalized legislation feed based on what I'm currently following and the topics that I am interested in. And I'm going to jump right into the politicians page, where we will find my representative, because that's what I'm interested in. And we see this nice district map that I can use for that purpose, or I can use this filter bar over here. I'm going to go ahead and use the map and press find my district, because I'm not really sure where my district is. So we're going to press that, and then we see the district. It will ask to use your location before doing this. I just accepted it beforehand, so we didn't have to see it. And now I see all our representatives for this specific district. I'm interested in finding out what Mike Lee votes for, so let's go ahead and click on Mike Lee. Oh, and we now have Mike Lee's voting record and term history. If I'm so inclined to see his term history, I can. But I'm more interested in his voting record. And as I'm looking through this, I see, oh, this Rescissions Act. I'm quite interested in finding more about it. So let's go ahead and click on it and learn more. We have greeted by a topic list, a summary, and all the sponsors of this specific legislation. Now, I'm a computer scientist, so I'm curious about the science and technology legislation, so let's find more that are similar into science and technology. So we can click that topic and we're brought to this legislation page that is filtered by science and technology topics. You'll see all of the legislation that relates to that specific thing. I can follow and unfollow various legislation to add that to it. Let's then take a step back, because I don't know what this Rescissions Act is, and I'm curious what it is, so I'm going to ask somebody. We're going to find out. We'll find out from George Washington, what is this act? And it'll hopefully explain it in a way that you understand. Now I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Samuel, who will talk about the app.
My name is Samuel, and I am the lead developer for the Android app Agora, and I'm very excited to show you what that's all about. So if you'll imagine, we are a person who's very concerned about the environment. Let's call him Jimmy for this example. So we are signed in as Jimmy, and as you can see, we selected the environment and natural resources as one of the topics of our interests. So if we go to the home page, we can see topics and senators that will apply to Jimmy's interests. Additionally, if we go over to the legislation page, we can see just the average legislation, and for example, if Jimmy's concerned about water, he can type in water, and it will pull up all the bills that have water in their name. So if we want to look at this one right here, we can go ahead and look, and we can see this little description of all of it, as well as some additional info like the introduction date and the date of the most recent action and the status. And then finally, we can see the sponsors for this bill. So it seems like Cliff Bentz was the only sponsor for this bill. So if we click on him, we can go to his politician page and see his biography as well as all the terms that he's served in. And finally, we can also see the voting history. It will take a minute to load. So we can see all the voting history that he's dealt with. You can see that he's voted a lot for stuff, and there's some that he wasn't present for. But we can also check any of these bills. So if we go to this one, we can check that. So we can also add bills to Jimmy's favorites. So if we go back to the water one, we can add that to Jimmy's favorites. Let's add a couple. And we can also add that senator. So if we go and we look at his name, it was Bence. So if we look up Bence, we can go ahead and add him to the favorites as well. So we can go to the yard pages and we can see that all of these are in Jimmy's favorites now. So going up here, we can do a little more information. We can look at the glossary, which just has a nice description of the terms that might be used. Additionally, we can go at the district map and we can go, for example, Jimmy's from Utah and he wants to see the federal, or he can also see the Senate for the local. But he can see the federal and he can click on that and see the representatives for that district. Finally, I just want to show this feature. It's a hemicycle chart. So this is for the 119th Congress and for the Senate of Session 1. We can change the settings here. We can click on these to see the groups and how many members there are, as well as zooming in and then clicking on one of them and opening their politician page.
So now it's time to talk about the tech stack. At the base of our tech stack is the data we collect from government APIs. Some of these APIs are from congress.gov, some of them are from the state of Utah website. All this data is stored in our web server. Our web server has a MySQL database to keep track of all this information. That information in the database is communicated to the UIs through API calls that we created. Our web server is hosted locally on a Raspberry Pi. And so to ensure that we had secure communications between the Raspberry Pi and the UIs and the user wherever they are, to make sure their information was secured, we send that traffic through a Cloudflare tunnel, which is secured through HTTPS. We also store user information on Firebase to make sure there's that separation of concerns. That way, we never have any access to any user personal information in our web server. Finally, for the UIs, we went with two different solutions. For the website, we went with Next.js. And for the mobile app, we went with Flutter. We thought that going with a more native solution for both the website and the mobile app would be in the best interest of the user. We decided to name this app Agora, referencing the ancient Agora in Greece. The Agora was a place for people to go and discuss and debate issues that were relevant to them at their time. In short, it was a place for them to become better citizens, to become more knowledgeable. And with that in mind, we set out to do that with this app, and we have accomplished that. Agora is a place where anyone, regardless of political knowledge, could go into the app and learn about legislation affecting them specifically. We made it as simple as possible to give users a wide variety of legislation and a wide variety of politician information so that they can truly understand the ins and outs of our political system. So we invite you all to come and join us at the Agora.